Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back, students. Today we are going to discuss the third part of our topic, respiration, that is mechanism of respiration. So, first of all, we'll try to understand what is respiration. We have already discussed it in the beginning. Respiration is a process of exchange of gases between the body cells and the external environment. It involves two main processes, that's breathing and exchange of gases. Now, what's breathing? Breathing is the process of movement of air into and out of lungs. The intercostal muscles and the diaphragm are involved in the normal breathing. What are the intercostal muscles? The intercostal muscles are the muscles that are present between the ribs. There are 11 pairs of intercostal muscles. So the external and internal intercostal muscles are stimulated by intercostal nerves. This is the mechanism. Then what happens? The stimulation of intercostal nerves causes contraction of the intercostal muscles. Then during contraction, the rib cage is pulled upwards and outwards. With the result, the size of the thoracic cavity is increased. This thoracic cavity is nothing else. It's the chest cavity. So then, the during the relaxation of intercostal muscles, the rib cage is moved downwards and inwards. With the result, the size of the thoracic cavity is decreased. Now, the diaphragm, which is a dome-shaped muscular structure, is also supplied by phrenic nerves. This, as we discussed, it is also involved in the process of breathing. What happens then? What are these phrenic nerves? These nerves, these are the sensory nerves. The stimulation of the phrenic nerves pulls down the diaphragm and increases the size of the thoracic cavity. तो इसका जो thoracic cavity का जो है ये साइज बड़ा हो जाता है. Then what happens? Chest cavity का साइज बड़ा हो जाता है. Then what happens? The contraction of the intercostal muscles and the diaphragm, it occurs simultaneously. What happens then? It increases the size of the thoracic cavity in all directions. So now if we'll go through the cycle of breathing, it is the cycle of breathing. It includes three phases such as inspiration, expiration, and pause. The average respiratory rate is about 16 to 20 breaths per minute. Now, if we'll see the mechanism of breathing supplies oxygen to the alveoli and eliminates carbon dioxide from the alveoli. Now, the question is, what are these alveoli? These alveoli are tiny sacs within our lungs. These tiny sacs are very important part of our respiratory system. Now, what's the function of these tiny sacs? These tiny sacs allow oxygen and carbon dioxide to move between the lungs and bloodstream. So, the now the inspiration, it involves, as already discussed, it involves three stages. That's inspiration, expiration, and pause. Now, if we'll go through the inspiration, here in inspiration, the intercostal muscles along with diaphragm they contract. On this contraction, the thoracic cage expands. When the thoracic cage expands, it pulls the parietal layer of the pleura and the visceral pleura along with it. What is this parietal pleura? Parietal layer of the pleura. It is the outer membrane which is attached to the inner surface of the thoracic cavity, and the visceral pleura is the delicate membrane that covers the surface of each lung. Now, what happens? It when the lung expands, a negative sort of pressure is created within the lung. That is called negative pressure. Now, the negative pressure, what happens? What its function? The negative pressure draws air into the lung in order to equalize atmospheric and alveolar air sac pressure. Now, the inspiration whole process is an active process, so energy is utilized. Now in the whole process, it takes almost about 2 seconds. Now what happens, this negative pressure, it helps us in the venous return hot, called respiratory pump. So finally it draws air into the lung. This is a process of inspiration, how the air is drawn into our lung. Now as far as the expiration is concerned, the intercostal muscle and the diaphragm, uh, they relax. In inspiration they contract and in expiration they relax. तो जस्ट लाइक जैसे कि हम सांस अंदर लेते हैं और बाहर छोड़ते हैं, जब हम सांस लेते हैं दैट्स कंट्रैक्शन, एंड जब हम सांस बाहर छोड़ते हैं दैट इज रिलैक्सेशन. तो इसमें क्या है, देन व्हाट हैपेंस, दिस the diaphragm results in the down relaxation of intercostal muscles, and diaphragm results in the downward and inward movement of the rib cage. This decreases this movement of the inward movement of the rib cage. It decreases the size of the thoracic cavity. When the size of the thoracic cavity decreases, the pressure increases in the lung. Now what happens, it causes elastic recoil of the lung. Elastic recoil of the lung means the lung forces the air out of the lung. It forces the air out of the lung. Then what happens, it decreases the size of the lung and then increases the pressure within the lung. Finally it pushes air out on its recoiling, it pushes out of it pushes the air out of the lungs. And it since the is all the process of expiration is a passive process, it does not involve any, it does not utilize any energy. So this the expiration, this whole process of expiration, it is followed by a pause. Then after it, the lung is ready for its next cycle. So if we'll go through the diagram of this inspiration and expiration, inhalation and exhalation, here you can see this chest expands. जब ये सांस बाहर सांस अंदर लेते हैं तो यहाँ पे ये chest expands. These are the ribs, you can here see, these are the ribs, this is the lung, and this is the diaphragm. Here you can see the diaphragm contracts. तो जब diaphragm contracts है, chest, you can see it expands here. So इसमें this is inhalation and this exhalation there, the chest recoils. तो जब chest recoil होती है, chest it moves inwards. तो जब it moves inwards, pressure is created. तो ये आप देख सकते हो यहाँ पे diaphragm then relaxes. So this is the process of breathing. तो यहाँ आप now our next topic is exchange of gases. How exchange of gases takes place? It takes place in the lung, between the atmospheric air and blood at the tissues, between the blood in the capillaries and tissues. It's a continuous process. Here diffusion of, then it's the diffusion of gases. Now the diffusion of gases, first of all, we'll try to understand what is this diffusion. As far as the definition is concerned, it's simple. This exchange of gases between from a region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration across the semi-permeable membrane. This is called diffusion. Exchange of gases occurs through the process of diffusion. As far as the respiration is concerned, it occurs through the process of respiration. Now the exchange of respiration occurs in the lung, that's external respiration, and in the tissues it's internal respiration. Now the next is, what is external respiration? Here you can see external internal respiration. There is exchange of gases by diffusion between air in the alveoli and blood in the capillaries. We already discussed what's alveoli. Alveoli are tiny sac-shaped balloon or tiny air sacs that sit at the very end of the respiratory tissues. And in the blood capillaries, this is the location, this is the site where the exchange of gases takes place actually. So then the diffusion of gases occurs across the respiratory membrane, as already we discussed what is diffusion. So then the blood brought by the pulmonary artery to the lung is deoxygenated blood, where the concentration of carbon dioxide is higher. So, what is this pulmonary artery? Pulmonary artery is a major vessel of the human heart that originates from the right ventricle. So, it carries blood with low oxygen content. So, what is this deoxygen? Let's first try to understand what is this deoxygenated blood. Deoxygenated blood means O2 oxygen has been removed here. Its meaning is that oxygen has been removed. When the oxygen has been removed, we call it deoxygenated blood. तो यहाँ पे क्या है? The concentration of carbon dioxide is higher. So then, when the concentration of carbon dioxide is higher, it moves down its concentration gradient and diffuses into the air in the alveoli. Then the concentration of oxygen in the inspired air is higher. जो हमने सांस अंदर ली उसमें जो oxygen content है it's at the higher level. Then what happens? The oxygen moves down the concentration gradient and diffuses into the blood in the capillaries. Then the blood in the capillary network is oxygenated, which is then carried by the four pulmonary veins to the left artery of the heart. Next, what's internal respiration? There is exchange of gas as far as internal respiration is concerned. There is exchange of gases by diffusion between the blood in the capillaries and tissue cells of the body. Now, if we again go through this external respiration, there is exchange of gases by diffusion between air in the alveoli and blood in the capillaries. And here it is exchange of gases between blood in the capillaries and tissue cells of the body. Now the concentration of oxygen in the blood within the capillaries is higher. तो यहाँ पे क्या है ऑक्सीजन का जो है वो कंटेंट है ऑक्सीजन की जो कंसंट्रेशन है वो कैपिलरीज में इज एट द हायर लेवल. तो यहाँ पे क्या है इसमें ऑक्सीजन देन मूव्स डाउन द कंसंट्रेशन ग्रेडियंट from the blood in the capillaries through the capillary wall into the tissues. Then the concentration of carbon dioxide is higher in the extracellular fluid that surrounds the tissue. Now what is this? यहाँ पे क्या है जो कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड का जो है कंटेंट है इट्स एट द हायर लेवल. उसका जो है ये कंसंट्रेशन एट द हायर लेवल में है तो कहाँ पर है इन द एक्स्ट्रा सेलुलर फ्लूइड. तो एक्स्ट्रा सेलुलर फ्लूइड जो है now what is this extra cellular fluid? Extra cellular fluid अगर हम इसको समझने की कोशिश करें तो एक्स्ट्रा सेलुलर फ्लूइड जो है इट्स द बॉडी फ्लूइड आउटसाइड द सेल्स ऑफ एनी मल्टीसेलुलर ऑर्गेनिज्म. अगर हम एक्स्ट्रा सेलुलर फ्लूइड की बात करें तो इट्स यू मस्ट रिमेंबर इट इज द फ्लूइड body fluid outside of the cells of any multicellular organism. Now what is extracellular fluid is body water that is not inside the cells. तो जो cells के बाहर होता है that is extracellular fluid और जो cells के inside में होता है अंदर होता है that is intracellular fluid. ये आप समझने की कोशिश करें you must remember it कि जो fluid cells में होता है that is intracellular fluid और जो सेल्स के बाहर होता है दैट्स एक्स्ट्रा सेलुलर फ्लूइड. तो अगर हम टोटल बॉडी वाटर वेट की बात करें तो ये है वाटर इनसाइड द फ्लूइड प्लस वाटर आउटसाइड द फ्लूइड. दिस इज द टोटल वाटर बॉडी वेट. तो अगर हम टोटल बॉडी वाटर बॉडी वेट इन हेल्दी एडल्ट्स की बात करें तो इट इज़ 60% ऑफ द टोटल बॉडी वेट. तो अगर हम वुमेन एंड ओबीज मेन की बात करें तो दे हैव द लोअर बॉडी वाटर वेट देन द लीन मैन. तो ये तो है क्लियर. ये मैंने दिस वाज द एक्स्ट्रा सेलुलर व्हाट इज एक्स्ट्रा सेलुलर फ्लूइड. नाउ व्हाट हैपेंस देन व्हेन द कंसंट्रेशन ऑफ दिस कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड इन द एक्स्ट्रा सेलुलर फ्लूइड इज हायर तो इट मूव्स डाउन देन concentration gradient from the extracellular fluid in the venous end of the capillary. Now let's try to understand what is this venous. Venous is a blood vessel that carry blood towards the heart from the body cell tissues and organs. Now what happens then? The blood becomes deoxygenated with the higher concentration of carbon dioxide. यहाँ पे जब ये कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड जो है हायर कंसनट्रेशन से ये एक्स्ट्रा सेलुलर फ्लूइड में जाता है, व्हेन इट गोज इनटू एक्स्ट्रा सेलुलर फ्लूइड, यहाँ पे क्या है, द ब्लड इट बिकम्स डीऑक्सीनेट, दैट इज विदाउट ऑक्सीजन। तो इस सीधी सी बात इसमें जो है कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड एट द हायर लेवल ऑफ इट्स कंसंट्रेशन। Then what happens? This deoxygenated blood is carried by the veins that unite to form the superior and inferior vena cava that empties blood into the right atrium of the heart. This is the final step. कहाँ पर जाता है फिर? Then it is emptied into the right atrium of the heart through these veins in superior and inferior vena cava. Then what happens? Now, if we go through the pulmonary blood supply to, this is for your convenience. तो इसमें क्या होता है, दिस pulmonary trunk, it carries, if you just for summarize it, the pulmonary trunk, it carries deoxygenated blood from the right ventricle through right pulmonary artery and left pulmonary artery to the right lung and left lung. Here in the left lung it here in the left lung, these capillaries divide and subdivide into the arterioles, Finally, the capillary network around this capillary around the alveoli, these arteries then here the exchange of gaseous exchange across the respiratory takes place and blood becomes oxygenated. Finally, these veins unite into the pulmonary vein, two in each lung. Then it carries oxygenated blood in the left artery of the heart. So, beta, this was this mechanism of respiration, how actually it takes place. So it takes place how it actually takes place the process of breathing and this exchange of gases. तो अगर आप यहाँ पे ये डायग्राम में देखें तो ये आप समझने की कोशिश कीजिए, ये है, दीज आर द क्या कहते हैं टिश्यू सेल्स। तो टिश्यू सेल्स में क्या है, ये it needs oxygen goes into tissue cells and carbon dioxide leaves from the tissue cells. These are the systematic capillaries. This is the pulmonary vein, pulmonary artery. This is the pulmonary vein. This you can see these are capillaries. So ये carbon dioxide, when it's at the higher level of concentration, it goes into the lungs. When it goes into the lungs, the oxygen leaves out of the lungs. Then here you can again see this is the inferior vena cava. It goes into the right ventricle, or this is the right atrium. So this is the all what is regarding this gaseous exchange, how it takes place during the external and internal respiration. So better thanks once again. This was all about it. Hope you must have followed it. Thank you once again. Allah Hafiz. Stay home, stay blessed. Inshallah, we'll meet in the next lecture very soon. Thanks again, once again. Allah Hafiz.